So it's been a while since I've been able to post anything on the channel. I feel really bad about that just because I really do want to take it as seriously as possible. It's just tough when you're a one man show, and there's been a lot going on the last couple of weeks that I think I've only been able to get like one video out, and that was when I actually started many weeks before it came out, and it was just so much bullshit going on. If you don't want to get like a little quick channel update, I'll put like a timestamp where you could skip to where the actual movie we're going to talk about comes up. But yeah, I was working on that video, and I got sick, and I was sick for like a week or so, and that sucked. My office kind of got ransacked a little bit. I had so many boxes and things in here because for anybody who's been kind of part of the channel for at least the last year knows that last summer I had to also take a break because we were moving. We were selling our house and moving to a different location. So that took me out for a couple of months, and we're still kind of in the process of unpacking and getting things put away and getting things put in order. So that kind of lends to where you don't have a lot of time to do as much as you want. And so we've been kind of playing move around with boxes and bags and stuff. So eventually, my office was the next choice to toss a bunch of things in there. So the way my office was set up just kind of made it difficult to sit down and kind of do any work when it's just a whole mess kind of just in your space. And I don't know if you guys kind of go through that. It becomes difficult for me to kind of sit through, so I couldn't really be in here to do much except write. Just to think of the idea of just every time I would look in a different direction, there'd be a box or a bag of some sort or an item or piece of furniture. And we got it sorted out, thankfully. And now my office is a little bit back to normal. As you can see, we've kind of changed up the way things kind of look a little bit. I've been able to set up my shelves a little bit better. I'm very proud of that little collection I have there, and I've been wanting to put it on display for a while. So I'm glad I was able to get that out and kind of tidied up, kind of polished, I shouldn't say. Well, not polished, but like they look nice and shiny. So I'm very happy about that. Also, I am working on a lot of videos. I have a lot of things coming out. I was trying to do trailer reactions for the channel, and there have been a lot of trailers coming out the last few weeks. I have avoided all of them, so I might be late to the game for a few of them, but I'm still going to kind of do them just because I've been waiting to do them for the channel, and I've been excited about them. So you're going to see a lot of reaction videos pop up too, as well as hopefully some of my actual series videos, whether it's the Unfortunate Case series or the new series that I have formatted on the channel called The Unfiltered Lens, which is going to be like the mini documentary series that I have, the kind of video essay kind of deep dive into a particular topic that doesn't necessarily mean that it is part of the Unfortunate Case series, because the Unfortunate Case series to me is more about the kind of, I don't want to say negative side of things, but more so, you know, finding those stories that like they just you feel bad or you get sad about it. One of my favorite ones that I've done so far is the Judith Barcy video, and that's a really sad story. So that's why that kind of belongs sort of in its unfortunate case area. So it's like unfortunate production things and how long it might take a film to get actually through its development process. That's the kind of stuff that belongs in the Unfortunate Case series. And then the Unfiltered Lens is just going to be sort of like what my Roger Rabbit video was or my Iron Claw video. Those are kind of what I want to keep separated from everything else, so that's why they're going to be there. Then I'm going to have my reaction videos and my Diary of a Cinephile videos, so I'm trying to move things in the right direction. I'm trying to give out as much content as I possibly can, so thank you for sticking around if you're still here. And if you're new and this is the first video, hopefully I didn't bore you too much, so let's start talking about the movie that we're doing right now, and that is HAVOC, which just came out this year. It's a movie that I was very excited about because it was the sort of pseudo return to action of Gareth Evans. Gareth Evans is the guy who I believe wrote and directed, probably in some point produced or executively produced as well, two extremely great action movies of the last, I don't know how old these are, maybe 15 years. And that is The Raid Redemption and The Raid 2. Now, he, I believe, is a Scottish director, but he was in Indonesia to do filmmaking, and he's done a couple of films out there. And one of the first films he did out there was a film called Mirento, I believe it's how it's pronounced, or Mirentau. I'm probably butchering it, and I apologize. But that is the first film that we are introduced to Ego Uwais. Now, Ego Uwais is a fantastic Indonesian action star. He is a tremendous martial artist. I've watched all of the films he's in. It was kind of shocking that he didn't kind of pop up in this film. However, it is nice to see what Gareth Evans was able to do with those films. He's actually able to return to action and give us something like HAVOC is. I think a lot of people were expecting certain things out of it, because when you think about a director who gave you something like The Raid, which a lot of people praise The Raid. Like, The Raid is like top-notch action film of our generation, I would say, or this generation. And to see it not have anything else besides the two that are already out there. Now, granted, everybody who's on that team that works with Ego Uwais, they've all done a bunch of films together that have all been great. The Night Comes for Us, another great film. Headshot, I believe, is him, or it might be Triple Threat, is him and Tony Jaa in a movie together with a whole bunch of people. So what happens is sometimes these films will fall into the realm of kind of B level, because they're not necessarily up there to sort of be considered huge, I guess, box office hits, if you want to say. But from what I've seen for the reviews of this film, I get it. I feel like right where they are is kind of what it deserves. It has 66 on Rotten Tomatoes. That's not bad. It's not the greatest. The audience review is actually worse for that. I think it's 37, and I'm kind of shocked by that, but I think I understand why, because I believe a lot of people were expecting more of the action we used to get from Gareth Evans. Like, this is a close to 2-hour film, and there's only really two big scenes, but I feel like what people aren't taking from that is that they're great fucking scenes. You know what I mean? Like, the two fight scenes, the two major fight scenes, the one in the club and the one in the, not the barn, the lake house, are tremendous. The final one is just a tremendous feat in action. And it's just so nice to also see, like, you have to give respect to Tom Hardy, because it's nice to see him do a full-on action role where it's just him doing his thing. And I feel like it's been a long time since we've actually seen that. I can't. What have his recent credits been? He's got the series Mobland. I haven't actually seen that yet. HAVOC, Venom: The Last Dance. I mean, it's more Venom fighting than him. He's part of a podcast series, Bike Riders. I haven't seen that yet. I want to. Doesn't really do that kind of fighting in Peaky Blinders. This is a cameo. Same thing. And he had Capone. Same thing. Like, he hasn't had much as far as, like, I want to say Legend was probably the last one that he showed some real, like, knuckles and fist fighting, which kind of sucks because he can do so much. He's such a good action star. And this is kind of just showing you that, and it's kind of just this return for Tom Hardy, because it's nice to see him actually do. He can be a very serious actor, and he's a great actor in everything he does. It's just that he is also a really good action star, and he can do these action sequences, and he's proved it in a lot of those films from almost a decade ago. Like, it's crazy to think that Mad Max Fury Road is 10 years old, and he's great as an action star in that film. Then you have him in The Dark Knight, and then This Means War, and Warrior, and all these films that kind of show his kind of action capabilities that just kind of disappeared in the last decade, at least to me. Maybe I'm just not giving a certain level of appreciation to certain things that he might have done, but there's a level that this film hits for him that is so worth it. And I do understand why some people might not want to give it, like, more than what it kind of has gotten so far as being kind of in the middle for a lot of people. But the respect still has to be put on Tom Hardy. Because to me, what I feel like this is, if it's anything, this is Tom Hardy's Taken. Remember when Taken came out and Liam Neeson was, older, and it kind of showed you that, hey, Liam Neeson still got it. And then came this slew of all of these other action films that were almost the exact same thing, just these cookie cutter films that just made Liam Neeson look like the toughest guy in the world. And then he had two more Takens. I can't even remember some of the names of these crazy films that he was doing, but it sort of kickstarted Liam Neeson's career into this genre of being older but still an action star. And I want to say, how old is Liam Neeson right now? How old is he? Liam Neeson is 72 years old right now. So if you do that math, in 2008 when Taken came out, 2008 is 2, 15, 17, 17. He was 55. He was 55 when Taken came out. So take that into consideration. How old is Tom Hardy? Tom Hardy is 47. Tom Hardy is 47, which means that if Liam Neeson is still able to do some of the crazy action movies that he was doing, Tom Hardy is now in that era where he's now going to be the next Liam Neeson, because he's getting up there in age, but he can still do these action sequences. And then you also got to think, look at Keanu Reeves. I think Keanu Reeves is also like 50 something years old. Keanu Reeves is 60. So if Liam Neeson can do it, and if Keanu Reeves can do it, Tom Hardy can 100% do it. And I feel like this is that stepping stone back into the realm of really major action star. I really did appreciate this film. I thought the film was really enjoyable, really entertaining. I kind of got the story. The story's a bit convoluted, only because things don't make a lot of sense, and they kind of just throw you into this world, and they're just like, eventually it'll all make sense, which can turn some people off. And I was a little turned off for a while, and after about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, I kind of had to pause it and I had to say it out loud. So I stopped, and I looked at my wife, and I just spoke out loud, and I said, so this is who this is who that is, they're connected this way, they're connected that way, they're backstabbing them, he's backstabbing him. And as I said it out loud, it all started to make sense, and I was like, okay, now I can continue to watch this movie. So it could have used maybe another 5 minutes of just explaining a little bit deeper certain things. And yeah, you do kind of have to wait until later on in the movie where other scenes pop up of like flashbacks to show you certain plot points and relationship points. It's still relatively new, so I don't want to ruin anything for anybody. But in my personal opinion, I'm on the side of this is a more positive outlook. I think this film is extremely enjoyable. I loved watching it. I loved seeing action like that. There's a certain thing that Gareth Evans is able to do, and the fact that he was able to do that with somebody like Tom Hardy and make it look as good as it does. When I tell you the entire ending fight sequence is just phenomenal, to me at least. It's just this phenomenal feat in action that I haven't seen in a while. And I watch a lot of action movies. I'm like your typical Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone fan. I grew up on B-level action movies and crazy action movies and just things that doesn't. The 90s was thriving when it came to action films. So I love them the most. I love martial arts films. This I appreciated for its cinematography, for its fight choreography. There's a level of respect you got to have for a film like this. And it's Gareth Evans' first time back, and I don't think it's that bad. So, I mean, if you hear some negative things about it, I do understand those negative things too, but take it with a grain of salt, because there is a good movie behind whatever somebody would say is kind of poor or lacking in it. That I feel is sort of up to debate, but more so up to perspective. You will watch it and probably see something different that you might not like 100% about it, but I still think you should watch it if you are a fan of those raid films, or if you're just looking for action to sort of make a comeback. Because to me, this is a film that shows me that action is kind of making this comeback to go away from all of the crazy cut sequences and just really focused on, the way action is for this version of what a real action film is. Because to me, there's a level that this hits that some action films don't hit, and that it's surpassing what we are getting elsewhere. And because you have to kind of look for it elsewhere, it becomes worth it in the long run, which is why I want to view this in a positive light, because I want this version of action films to continue. And that's why I feel like this deserves more praise than it does sort of the negative backlash it might be getting somewhere else. If you made it this far, you are awesome. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it, and let YouTube know I'm doing a good job. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, and check out the other videos in the studio. All of this helps support me and the channel, so it is very appreciated. Whether you're new or returning, thanks for watching. Cheers.